able to answer everybody's query with regard to mental health questions, with regard to how to deal with the ongoing stressors during this time. Uh, the world is facing a tough time, and I am sure everybody is getting affected by it in one way or another. So let's gear up for today's webinar, and let's hope that we are all able to carry a good sense of information and spend a really productive time here. We'll wait for our guests to join in. As you all are aware that our guest is not a secret, and she is a famous artist, a brilliant actor, and she has multiple accolades in her career. So we are all excited here to meet her, to have her, to hear her point of view with regard to mental health, with her point of view with regard to the current situation, how she became a champion for mental health. That is also quite a curious thing to hear. And definitely, we all are big fans of Harshita Gaur. So I think Harshita has joined us here. And Harshita, are you there? So I'll invite everybody to share their issues. We'll wait till Harshita joins in here. And we are definitely big fans of her work. We've seen her shows, and we've seen her episodes, and she's a wonderful actor. And what is more than wonderful is that she's taken this brilliant uh, initiative to come on board with us with regard to talks of mental health, to open with her fans, with the audience, about uh, her experiences and her issues and her takes on the current issue. I think Harshita hasn't joined. Maybe there's some technical issue. She'll be joining us in a short while, and meanwhile, I'll request everybody to keep their questions ready. We'll all be looking forward to hearing her point of view, sharing our experiences, and her the way she's dealt with everything, the way she's come so far, the way she's handled her challenges. I'm sure life is throwing challenges at all of us, left, right, and center, and it takes a lot of determination and taking care of our mental health from our side to face those challenges. And so Harshita is here. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome here. I'm so excited to have you.
I'm
Thank you
so
so
excited for this.
much.
Thank you for having me. I hope you can hear me. There was some issue with my laptop, so I had to join in through the phone.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you wonderfully, and I can see you, and you're looking all glowy and very healthy. And everything.
It's the light, I think. I think it's just too much light.
No, but it's good.
Yeah.
So how have you been, Harshita? How has this pandemic treated you? It has affected everybody. How are you doing?
It is a very difficult, very weird situation. We've never seen this before. We've never heard of this before. I mean, heard, but it's like hundreds of years back. True. But I think for me, it's been really constructive. Yeah, I mean, what to say? I've been really happy in the lockdown. Only that I'm missing my family now. So I'm going to be going to Delhi soon. I was just waiting for some of the work that was pending to get over. And so all in all, for me, it was like really a period of learning and growing.
That's wonderful. So that's a good thing, like initially, was there any change from the way you initially reacted to the news of this thing happening to the way now you've adjusted? Do you think things have changed in some way?
So, more than sitting at home, I think I was concerned for people, and especially your family, because my dad is a doctor, my sister is a doctor. So, my dad was going every day, but then we had this, so I was very concerned. You were just basically also concerned for people around. As far as I was concerned, actually, luckily, I have amazing neighbors. So, uncle, auntie, are like family to me. So after a month of quarantining, we started like, visiting at least each other. So it was like just right next to mine, the flat right next to mine. So that way it was a very comfortable situation. Although obviously all those migrants going back, and you hear about their plight and you see all that, made you a little upset over things. But then I mean, now I'm just adjusted. But I was, from day one, I was not very disturbed personally. Like personally, it wasn't like, oh shit, now I won't be able to go out, now I won't be able to do this. In fact, for a moment you think like that, but then if you just divert your energy, so I thought, why not utilize this time to probably get enrolled in something, or get back to your dancing classes, or get back to your, whatever you were thinking that you will do when you will have time, and now you have it, so might as well do
it. True. So that's a really productive way to go about it. And like you said, I think social support was really important, and I'm really glad that you were able to find that with your neighbors. Like, after some time of quarantining, you were able to meet them, because I think social contact and social support is one thing that is really hitting people, where people are not able to move out, or like, don't have that much of a social network within their immediate neighborhood. So,
but again, I'll say, for a lot of people who've been staying alone, it is difficult. I mean, it's not like cakewalk.
I know it's not a cakewalk.
Yeah, but it is difficult, especially for people who were like really staying alone, and they were not as much, probably comfortable with. Like, I also got to meet my neighbors month after quarantining. So, being at home for a month, and then I was able to, at least stay by or sit with them. And so,
your father is a doctor, and he must be going out. He must be. So, was there this fear that there's a family member who's a frontline worker going out, maybe coming in touch with the patients, right, on a day-to-day basis? So, some fear regarding, what might happen.
Of course, there was. In fact, although my dad is general physician, so he was still dealing with the other thing, but my sister was dedicatedly working in the COVID ward. So for her, we were all very concerned, because she had to wear all that PPE kit and go out. But then again, see, you as a family, you're concerned, but from their point of view, though, it was their job, they had to do it.
True. But as a family member, like, let's say many of us have family members who are not immediately with us, and in a different city maybe, or in a different country, and then we are concerned about them. So, like, was there anything that you had to specifically to allay that fear, like to regarding maybe your father, or
I had to keep talking to them every day. Like, I needed to hear their voices. I needed to at least have a morning conversation and a night conversation with them. And so I think that was one thing and I kept telling them, have hot water, have this, have that. So, they're like, oh, we're doctors, we know it. I said, still, it's just...
So true, like we can all reach out to our family members, even if it's virtually, and check on them. And I think that really helps with the keeping the worries and anxieties a little away. So that's really great. And any hobbies that you picked up during this time, specifically any skills that you
so I'm gonna be starting my classes of flute. I've picked up that instrument, and I'm gonna learn that.
Wow, that's
these 3 months, actually, I really worked on myself in terms of my exercise, because I had a knee injury last year and I couldn't work out for like 10 months. And for these 3 months, I just I took it very slow, like very, very slow, and my body actually guided me. So then I got back to my yoga and stuff. So I was really happy.
Yeah, so I mean, physical activity, we all want to do that. We want to be active during this time, but I have like not everybody is able to do it. Like for
But that's
example,
okay. I
personally,
wanted to do it because I wanted to get back into. I couldn't work out for like 10, 11 months.
long
It
time,
was
yeah, sure. So,
bad, but I ate,
what
but
a,
I enjoyed it, and I picked up cooking also. So I'm not very. I don't fancy cooking, but I cooked a couple of things. I
making
think I can
bananas.
cook to save my life.
Okay, I think that's good enough. Anything more than that is brilliant. But
Yeah,
that's what is needed effectively to survival skills.
yeah.
So, and we, on the other hand, are passing our time watching shows also, and yours, and wonderful. So somebody has also asked, when is Mirzapur 2 coming up?
I knew this question will come. So as you guys see, we've already started the work that was pending, and we couldn't do it, and there was a pause because of COVID. We've resumed, and now the only thing that we are looking forward to is completing it as soon as possible so that you guys can see it. So
Yeah,
trust me, we
so
also
excited.
want it as much as you
Yeah.
want. So we're working very hard.
So we are very excited. Yeah, it was really wonderful acting, and the story was really great. So yes, it was keeping us like gripped all the time. So looking forward to it, and and like so many fans of yours have joined in here, and they want to hear all about how are you probably staying connected with or working at this point? Like is it the same as before? Has it changed in terms of like how you're
So we
interacting
were
with
not.
people at work?
No, we were not working for 4 months at all. The dubbing has just started because now we are allowed to go out. So gladly, my production house Excel is taking a lot of precautions, and they call very specifically. So they're calling only one actor for dubbing. So yeah, it is taking a little more time, but because we have to do it, so all the safety measures are they're taking care of.
Great. Yeah. So if you look at like meeting out, hanging out with friends, anything has changed in that term for you?
Of course, my I do a Zoom call every Saturday. So my my Saturday nights are Zoom, and trust me, it's so interesting because I realized I mean, my Saturday group is we've met. So basically, I will tell you, my Saturday group is my Mirzapur crew
Wow.
and group. So so we've been friends, and we've been talking to each other also. We worked together recently, but in this particular COVID time, I think every Saturday, because of meeting on Zoom call every Saturday, we've just become so thick that it almost feels like that we were friends probably since years. So I think that is very, very, because it's just brought all of us together so much. So I think that's very interesting because we really, and when I say it, it's not a Zoom call of an hour or two. We literally have a Zoom party where we start from 10 o'clock in the night, and it almost goes till 4 or 4:30 in the morning.
That's brilliant. I mean, being there for your colleagues and who turn friends and into like, gradually transitioning into really close buddies and families, really, it helps so much. And I think it might be one of the factors that has kept you like,
Because
okay.
otherwise, you don't get time to speak to, like, in my another family group also. We've been on Zoom calls every week. So I think because of Zoom calls, we've just gotten so close to each other. But otherwise, people probably didn't have time, or somebody was not free at the same time the other person was. So yeah, somewhere I think.
And I think because everybody has to be at home at this point.
Yeah.
Like, and they can always join in from wherever they are. That has helped, right?
Yeah, totally.
So maybe not this point which is the pandemic did not like seem like that much of a challenge to you, and you came up with really a lot of healthy activities to like deal with it, to cope with it. But has there been a time when you were maybe like challenged by circumstances, and which you think like, took a lot of your coping and your strength to really tide over that phase. Has that happened to you? Like maybe the audience would be really interested to know something, a personal experience maybe.
Of course. So now I because I have also worked on myself for 3 years in terms of working on myself, and I mean that you have to work on yourself in terms of your happiness, what you really want, and your peace of mind. That is also a part of working on yourself, working on your mental health. So I have done that for 3 years, and that's why I'm able to say it today that this pandemic didn't affect me that much. But had it been 3 years back when I suffered, I don't know if, because I was not clinically depressed, but I went through a phase which was almost like depression, and yeah, things are very difficult because I finished Sada Haq, and I had work since the day one in Mumbai, so I had not seen a single day without work, and I didn't know what sitting at home and not working meant. So after Sada Haq ended, I was flying because I thought ki now, my life is set and everything will happen and this and that, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes what happens is, so my depression purely happened out of work pressure, because the thing I was getting, I didn't want to do that. And what I wanted to do, I was not getting that. So it just was a whole year of that, and there were some things that came and slipped away. I had signed the film and it didn't happen, and then all of that. So I remember being at home or not actually stepping out of my house for 4 days without pandemic, 4 straight days. So I told you about my uncle auntie. So I think after the 4th day, my auntie just entered because she has the key also for the house, a separate key. So she came in, and she generally, because I had not met her for 4 days and she's not seen me around, so she asked me. And although I didn't tell her, but I just, then, it just shook me because she came and she asked, how are you? And she probably sort of brought me out of that sad zone that I was in a little bit. And then I was talking to a friend, and then he suggested me workshop to do. And then I joined that workshop, and for the first time I realized that I was actually going through that period, because although it was an acting workshop, but so especially Atul Mungia sir, he's my spiritual guru also, so he also kind of enhance your mental being. So it was not just acting for me, it was you're working on yourself also. So I think it just made me a better person, because I actually came out to me by myself that sometimes when you're not feeling happy, when you're really sad and crying, it's suggested not to meditate. I mean, don't just meet people, go out, have fun, bring joy in your life, talk to somebody, have ice cream, have your cheat food, do all of that. It's not like meditation is a remedy for everything. It's not that. It's just when you're stable and it helps you to go deep in yourself, that's when it's required. Otherwise, if any of you here are feeling really sad about things, talk to someone. I think that is a better thing to do.
Right. Even, I mean, I agree with you, sir. And that's actually a very, that's what we tell people who are coming for treatment also, that, sometimes meditation is not like the only solution, and it might not work really well for people who are deeply into a episode of, let's say, anxiety or depression. So yeah, people should definitely move out to what works for them and try to figure that out. Okay, this is interesting. Any books that I mean, are you into reading books? Is it one of your hobbies? Or like,
it is. I'm not a very avid reader, but I like reading. So I think these days I'm reading this book, Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. And it's really interesting. It's from a point of view of a slave girl. A slave, I mean, from a queen, she is now a slave. So it's the world through her eyes.
Okay.
So it's like, I mean, some Greek wars and at that time. So, but very interesting, because you can relate to it as relate to it in terms of there are a few moments which, see, again, the emotions, चाहे वो उस ज़माने को या अभी के हों, there are certain emotions which are same. You know,
Same.
it can be applied to any field, any scenario, any circumstance. So that way, it's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And so also the fact that we talked about criticism and we talked about negativity, and
I want to say one more thing,
Yeah.
because you asked about mental health. So I actually, so I have been confident, you know, I've been confident about things, self confidence है ये है, but मुझे अब लगता है कि पहले जो था ना वो more of pretense of confidence था. कभी-कभी हम अंदर से confident नहीं होते, but दुनिया को दिखाने के लिए हम confidence दिखाएं. तो वो pretense था मुझ में, but धीरे-धीरे अभी क्या वो मैं खुद, so I think I lacked self belief. तो वो self belief अब आने लग गया. तो you know what, in the entire day also what I'll do is I'll keep telling myself, you know, I think suppose if I have to for example, now this Zoom call had to happen. So in the morning I was just thinking, you know, I think the Zoom call will be fantastic, very exciting today. And you know, so in the whole day, if and keep telling yourself that you're the best, you're becoming the best version of yourself. Because I really think that what you think creates your reality. So if you really think positive thoughts and you keep telling it to yourself, no, it really it works magic. So I will keep telling myself, you know. So I'm telling you one example.
Yeah.
When I was shooting for Sada Haat, I suffered a skin disease known as contagious molluscum. People can go and read about it on Google. It is very, very contagious. So what happens is on your face, on your entire body, what happens is you get water blisters, you know, small water blisters. They're not pimples, they're not anything else, but they're small water blisters. And because the name is contagious molluscum, contagious word, it is so contagious that if it breaks open and the liquid touches the adjacent skin cell, it will happen there also. And there is no medicine for it. Allopathy doesn't have any medicine for it. My dermat said that what we can do is we can prick it and then, you know, heal it. But pricking it's dangerous because if it leaks, then you'll still have it on your face. Homeopathy said that it can take anywhere up to some 9 months to 2 years for it to get better. And on its own, it goes away in 4 years. But imagine for an actor, you're telling an actor that your face is you know, now gone, and I mean it can only happen slowly over a period of 2 years or 3 years. Every day my creative would tell me that why aren't you taking anything for this? Why is it happening? I had blisters all over my eyes, my lips, my cheeks. There were blisters. So you know what happened was I obviously researched, and you know, on Google I saw remedies and I started applying it on my own. But I also kept telling myself every day that I have beautiful skin and it's all going to be perfect. And it is actually, I'm not saying I was happy about it. I was still sad. There's a difference between happiness and being positively optimistic. So so I would keep telling myself every day ki no, I think it will happen and it will just go off. And I think I treated myself in 2 months. My face was clear, and after that I think people would tell me, oh, good skin, you have a nice skin. And I was waiting to hear this.
Wow. And you almost, like, you know, answered another query on that line. So somebody in the audience had asked that they have vitiligo marks on their skin, like, you know, those it's like that those patches on the skin, and they feel that they are very confident meeting people and talking to them and become very self-aware about that condition. So what can they do? So I'm sure they whoever asked that question, they can actually, you know, learn from you, and, like, you know, to actually positive self-talk and regard to self.
Yeah, treat the way your doctor is telling you. You know, have whatever your medicines, your creams, everything. I mean, I'm not a dermat, so whatever your dermat is telling you, do it. But also, first of all, it's okay to have a skin like that. It is really okay, you know, at times. Just tell yourself that it's going to be fine, and, you know, I have a beautiful skin no matter what. Trust me, it what you speak out, what you're thinking, what comes out of your mouth really happens to you. It does. And it's not something ki haan humne suna hai, or you can try. I mean, I'm not saying that you should definitely do it and this and that, but you should do it for yourself. See it. अभी तक क्या हो रहा है? अभी तक हम creams भी लगा रहे हैं, खा भी रहे हैं, ये भी कर रहे हैं, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं ना. But अगर हम उसके साथ ये भी add on कर लें कि and don't confuse your mind by saying कि अरे I have a beautiful skin but these pimples are making me look bad. Just omit the but part. Just say I have good skin, everything's gonna be superb, and I'll have the best skin by next month or in 6 months. I think it really works. It works for me. I'm telling you my experience. If you like it, please apply it and see it for yourself.
I think confidence helps with everything, be it good skin, be it, and that positive feeling about self and about a challenge that we are facing in life, be it like bad skin or be it like really harsh situations. I think we have to change our mindset, and that's what you are saying, and that's really helpful. So you somewhere you mentioned that you have a spiritual guru. So are you into spirituality?
Spirituality, actually.
And what's your understanding of it? What do you, yeah.
Pardon?
What is your understanding of spirituality? I mean, one of the listeners want to hear your take on it, and also we are really interested in that answer.
So I think, yeah, I have a lot, 2-3 places that I've learned spirituality in terms of, for me, the idea of spirituality is very simple. It's just, go understanding yourself. When I say yourself, your real self, and trying to reach, we all have our ideal selves. We want to have कि ये ideal होता हमारी life में, या ये ideal होता. So I think reaching there, and also feeling of oneness. I'm talking about spirituality here.
Yeah.
And not about the other things, which also help me. So but I don't do a lot of, there are many sort of meditations, and there is this or that. I'm talking about very simply concentrating on your breath. That's what I do. I'm not very deep in it, but I try to pick up things from people that make sense to me. And I believe that we all are one. So I think my idea of spirituality is oneness and togetherness. That is what, for me, that is what is spirituality.
That's a wonderful thought, very pure. And I think that also is what it means. Eventually we are all connected and we have the same experiences in terms of,
I feel we're all connected, we are all one, we are all if you try to then I can really empathize with you, because for me, you are just we are one person. It's just different bodies.
Yeah.
That's all. That's my idea of spirituality. Not very deep. Again, I'm not a spiritual teacher. I'm still,
I think you have full potential to be a spiritual guru.
No. I don't want to be. I'm learning. I'm just every day I need to feel optimistic. Again, why I stopped saying happiness, because my sister once told me that I can't be happy like every day, and then I realized, yeah, that's fine now. I'm also not happy every day. Nobody is happy every day. I was sad. I think I was sad 2-3 days back. I was not feeling well. I was just sad. But as long as, even in your sadness, if you can feel the fact that, okay, tomorrow will be okay, it'll go, it'll pass. It's a feeling. It has come, it'll go. So I think if you can feel that, then
battle is won.
Yeah. That's what I try to do.
Absolutely, and I fully agree with you. And I think this, I've tried bits and pieces of this. So, we are seeing you here, and you are really confident, and you are really optimistic. You're coming across as somebody who's really sure of where they are, and looking at the stars. But
I'm not very sure, but I try to reach there. Again, I'll say that I'm still learning. I'll still try. I'm still trying. Every day I try. Every day I don't wake up with the fact, oh, this is it. I have achieved. I have arrived. It's not. I still need to take my medication. Medication means that I need to whatever I do. If it meditation, or if it's telling myself that it's a good day, it'll be a good day. All these are medications for your mental health. So I do that. You know, I do that every day to make sure that I'm also mentally fit.
So the audience is curious that have you ever felt scared about something in life? Because at this point, looking at you, it's hard to imagine that.
Pardon?
Have you ever felt really challenged and scared in your life?
Scared?
Yeah, that's a question. Yes.
No, actually, I felt scared when I suffered the knee injury, and I was told that my knee will not be. Again, that's again one of the things that I wanted to say. I had just posted a picture a couple of days back where I did some asanas that I used to do, and I was told that, you know, and then I came across people who've had knee injuries, and they said it never gets as normal. You know, when I had the injury, I remember my doctor told me that I might have to go under surgery. But so that for one day I was very scared, because I was like, I'm an actor. If tomorrow I'm not able to dance, if I'm not able to walk or run properly, how am I gonna do things? Because, you know, it requires an act. When you're in the field of acting, there are so many things that you're required to do, and I wanted to do all of that. So I think for 2-3 days I was really scared, and I felt miserable, and I thought that, you know, shit, what has happened, why it's happened to me. You know, that's the question we ask ourselves when we are in that anger. Why me? So but I think again the third day I thought, no, I think I don't have to agree to what my doctor is saying, and that's fine. And I want to tell people that I was told to take bed rest for a month, and in middle of that I had Mirzapur's shooting, and I went to the shoot, and my doctor didn't know about this. On the 15th day I went for shooting, and I shot, because it's all, see, again, your mental strength drives you. So you have to be mentally strong. You have to tell yourself that no, I will do it. You know, and this will happen. And I was able to shoot, and there was a sequence that I had to shoot that involved a lot of physical activity, and I did it. You know, thankfully, universe always, I feel, that has my back, and I feel protected. So I thought that, no, let's have confidence and let's do it. You know, अब again I'm not saying कि हाँ भाई पैर में लग जाए तो तुम कल को सोचो कि नहीं, मैं तो मैराथन भाग कर आऊंगा, तो वो भी नहीं है कि that's very impractical. You know, next thing कि मैं भागूंगा और मैं ठीक हो जाऊंगा, ऐसा भी नहीं होता. Obviously you have to also take your certain measures into account, but basic confidence is very important to your willpower, जिसको हम बोलते हैं, तो वो बहुत जरूरी है. तो I think वहाँ पर मैं बहुत scared I felt, but I think thank God, yeah. And I remember when I posted the picture
at Mirzapur and you're acting, that you were going through, I don't know, it's hard for me to even pinpoint and say which was that place where you were not well. I really can't.
No, in 2, not in 1.
Okay. Oh, all right. So in 2. Yeah. I know I'll try to keep it, like, you know, I keep look for that sequence, that where is it that, you know, she has that injury. So are you doing well now? Has it completely improved?
Yeah, I am perfect. I think the next step is now running, because I'm able to do a lot of asanas. Dancing will be challenging. It'll be, and again, to answer your question, I'm feeling really little bit at this thing now, because dancing will be a big challenge. Controlled movements you can still do. I'm able to do a lot of asanas. Those are controlled. But dancing, there are a lot of spins and this and that, and you don't realize at times. So I think that's going to be a big challenge, but I'll do it.
Yeah, you will do it, and we really wish you all the best in that endeavor, and I'm sure you'll do brilliantly in it, like you've always been. So I think just wrapping it up and asking your any message for the audience about mental health, about how people and what made you turn to be a champion of mental health, to agree to do this is working so much to reduce the stigma, and we are trying to do this, and we want to hear that what made you think that, oh, this is something that probably needs attention, and tips for our audience definitely.
I will again, before I say anything, I'm just gonna tell you that I'm no doctor, I'm no guru, I'm just sharing my experience. And
That's what people are looking for. Now.
So I think there are little practices. Now I don't do it anymore, but I remember again taking it from my sir. I started having this 24-hour pity rule, where one day I would just cry. I feel the world is bad, and it's my life is bad, and nothing is happening according to what I thought. So for those 24 hours, I'll just pity myself so much. I will eat rubbish. I will, do whatever, as in just a wasted day.
Yeah.
And by the end of that day, I realized that you get so exhausted that now if you tell yourself that the worst is over, abhi kal se my day will be good. So I think I had this 24-hour pity rule. I don't do it anymore, but I don't feel, I don't feel that to do anymore, but I think it really helps. So I used to get too exhausted that the next day would actually be amazing. Because I had just probably wasted the entire, not wasted, but you can have that one day where cry, yaar, bindas cry, just let it out. It's very important.
Wow, that's really practical. Yeah, please go ahead. Sorry.
And just a tip, not a tip, but just saying, even if you're a guy or a girl, or you're probably you're a father or mother, or you have whatever, if you're a boss, you're a head of a company, you're human. At the end of the day, you're entitled to feel bad and sad and worry about things. It's okay. And strength is not that you can't cry. Strength is not, I think strength is more about understanding a particular situation and coming out of it, rather than avoiding it in your head and saying, no, I'm strong. That's not strength. So that's what I've learned, and that's what I want to tell it to people people who are listening. So that's my tip. Don't confuse strength. And just also one last thing, that your thoughts really create your reality. So have powerful positive thoughts, and speak it out. Tell it to yourself like every day that you're awesome, and things are gonna be amazing, and it does work.
Yeah. So, right, to have a positive mental health, this is what we have to really work on. A lot of
guys, you should also go to their app, because they really put out some amazing stuff in terms of you sometimes you don't know, and you can just see, okay, these are the symptoms. Okay, I'm also going through these symptoms. Okay, it could be this. So also take your mental health as important as your physical health. It is, your mind is also a body part. Consider it like that. Like your hand gets injured, you go to a doctor. If you feel something in your head, you should speak out, go to a doctor. There is no don't feel as if somebody's gonna judge you. There's nothing bad in it.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful, and wonderful message for the audience, and the audience loved you. We can see that in the comments, and thank you so much for taking out that time.
One last thing I want to say.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. It's not a day's work nothing changes in a day or a month. Sometimes people take years. I have taken to really confidently speak and be authentic about the fact that I have faced this, and every day is also a new challenge. I have taken 3 years to come here, at this point. So that's all. That's what I wanted to say, that take it slow. There's no rush. But every day should be a learning.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to really, you come a long way and love yourself for where you are right now. Right. So thank you so much. Such a wonderful session, and thank you so much for taking out that time. And guys, your audience loved you, and we love you here at The Doctor. That thank you so much. You took out that time to spread the message. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bye. Yes, sir.